Breakups can be a super emotional time, and I want you to know that you will be okay. But there are certain things that you definitely should not do when you're going through a breakup. It can be pretty tempting to want to spend time alone, hang out in your room, not really talk to anyone, and just sit with your feelings. And while I do think that that's okay to do for a little while, after you've gone through that initial grieving process, it's going to be really important that you connect with people that will be able to support you throughout the rest of this journey. After you've spent time grieving the relationship for however long you feel is necessary for you, you're going to want to make sure that you are staying connected with those people that love and support you. It's important to know that you're not alone in the way that you're feeling. A lot of people go through this weird up and down of emotions when they're going through a breakup, and it's something that pretty much everybody experiences at one time or another during their life. So don't feel like you're alone in this. Reach out to the people that love you, that care about you, that want to support you through this, and they will be more than happy to do that for you. The second thing you definitely don't want to do, although it may be tempting, is to stalk your ex either on the internet, online, or in real life. Definitely don't do it in real life. That can get really weird and sketchy and could also be potentially illegal. So no stalking in real life or cyber stalking. And even if you just think that the cyber stalking is harmless, that there's no harm in just like checking in and seeing how they're doing or what they're up to, first of all, it's holding you back from being able to move on, which is the obvious, right? But eventually you may end up running into something that you don't want to see, and it's going to hurt you. It's not going to serve you. So although you may feel like that's something that you really need to do, is just to check, just so you can have that little bit of relief that maybe they're not doing anything, or see that maybe they miss you or something like that. I promise you, it's not really worth it. And actually what I encourage people to do, honestly, is to block their ex if at all possible. And when you block someone, especially in this particular circumstance, it doesn't mean that you're mad at them, that you hate them, or anything like that. You can have very warm feelings towards the person that you were in a relationship with, but you can still block them for you. If you're the type of person where you know that you're going to be constantly checking and looking and wanting to keep tabs on them, then blocking them might actually be a good thing for you. And if you have a good, decent relationship with this person and you feel like they may be hurt if you do something like that, you can just let them know, listen, I think for me, the healthiest thing is just going to be to, not interact with you on social media or online right now. And ideally, that will be a relatively simple conversation, because if you're broken up, you're broken up and they'll get it. Potentially things could get a little bit hairy there, but you could also just not say anything at all and just block them if you feel like that's something that you need to do. If the relationship did not have a good end and maybe you are really angry with this person, you have a lot of resentment towards this person, I want to encourage you not to seek revenge. There's not a lot of upsides when you do something like this. Trying to get them back for hurting you is really just counterproductive. It's just more of a reflection on you than it is on them. And, it might make you look crazy, or it might make you look a little unhinged. And the reality is, if you're doing something to intentionally try to hurt them, maybe even if they hurt you, you're probably not going to make them feel badly for the things that they did to you. They're probably just going to think that they dodged a bullet because you're quote unquote crazy doing these things to hurt them. I also want to encourage you to not jump into what we call a rebound relationship. Chances are there's a lot of things that you need to work out in your own mind. Maybe look at some patterns of relationships. If you've been getting in the same types of relationships with the same types of people, you really need to dig deep and figure out what the reasons for that may be and what you can do to address them. Because if you just go run and find someone else, it's likely that you're going to have similar problems, similar patterns, things like that. You definitely don't want to suppress your emotions either. Like I said, talk to friends, family that you trust. Consider seeking therapy or professional help for what you're going through. Because what happens is when we bottle up all of our emotions, then we start to turn to destructive behaviors and things that are not beneficial for our well-being. So it's important that you allow yourself to talk about what you're going through, whether that be with people in your circle or with a professional. When we're going through super emotional times like this, it can be really easy to neglect our self-care, but I want to encourage you to keep that of the forefront of your mind and be intentional about making sure that you take care of yourself. So trying to eat decent, trying to get enough sleep, drinking water, trying to exercise, even if it's just something small like going for a walk every day. Just make sure that you are taking care of yourself, both physically and emotionally and mentally. You also don't want to forget to reflect and to learn from the experiences that you've gone through. Sometimes it takes a little while to get to this point because our emotions are so heightened after that initial breakup, right when everything is fresh. But when the dust has settled, take some time to think about the relationship and the lessons that you can get from that experience that you had. As they say, most things are usually a blessing or they're a lesson. If you are going through a breakup and having a hard time moving on, maybe you don't even know where to start, I have created a free breakup reading guide for you. It has a list of books that personally helped me not only heal from heartache, but learn about myself and learn about relationships, and really were the foundation for the mindset that I have today. And I'm so, so grateful for them. So I wanted to share those books with you. If you want that guide, the link is in the description. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I will see you in the next video.